Hello and welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Smallville, the complete series on Blu-ray. It's the 20th anniversary of Smallville. Warner Brothers is celebrating with the complete series on Blu-ray. This is the debut of the complete series on Blu-ray. There was a previous complete series on DVD, but those of you who know, half the series was shot in HD. So we had 5 seasons that were DVD only, and then we had 5 seasons that were also available in Blu-ray because the show switched over to HD for seasons 6 through 10. So the complete series DVD package was missing all of those Blu-rays, all those HD transfers. No more. It's all here, and the first 5 seasons have been upscaled from their original standard definition transfers to new upscaled. They're not native HD, right? They have been upscaled, but they do look better than the DVDs. This is as good as Smallville is ever going to look. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what's included. So the complete series, 40 Blu-rays and 2 DVDs. In case you're wondering, why 2 DVDs? Because the previous complete series DVD package had 2 bonus discs. They have brought those discs forward. It was standard definition content, right? So they're here in standard definition. But there is so much here to talk about. You ready? Let's see what they look like. Let's do this. Let's take it into the phone booth. Change into our costume. This is gorgeous. I love this. When it was first announced, I think a lot of us were wondering, well, how's it going to look physically? Is it going to be those clamshell packages with the discs stacked on top of each other? Thankfully, no. Every single season gets its own case, its own unique treatment. And we have new art. You know, the previous Blu-rays did not have. They had the special features. Well, I can show you because I've pulled from my own collection a couple of examples. I've got the season 1 DVD and I've got the season 7 Blu-ray. So the backs of the boxes had all the details, all the specifications. So that's all gone now, and we have cast art, photos of the cast. That's true for every single season. Should we go through them one at a time? All right, let's do it really quick. So here's season 1, and I'll talk to you about the transfers and everything as we go. So because the show, again, first 5 seasons were shot in standard definition, there is no way to do high definition versions of those shows without going back to the original elements and re-rendering everything, including all those special effects shots, 5 years of special effects shots, into HD, and it's not going to happen. I think the fact that we have this Blu-ray package and these are upscales that's our indicator that this is as good as it's ever going to get for Smallville. Now, because I do have the DVDs, I was able to go in and do some before and after, just to see. The first 5 seasons do not look like modern HD TV. They don't even look like the later seasons of Smallville, but they do look better than the DVDs. How much better? It's not night and day, but it is noticeably better. Especially just the regular camera shots, the shots that don't have any special effects in them, because again, those special effects do not transfer up. They are what they are. So even like the opening credits have so many special effects in them. But when you get to the episode proper, it's like, oh, I can see grain structure. I can see like, there's one scene in specific that I'm thinking about where Clark is having a fist fight with somebody who's got kryptonite. And it's kind of blurry on the DVD. And then I put it in the Blu-ray and I can see like pores in his face. But again, don't raise your expectations too high. I want to keep expectations reasonable because it's not a night and day sort of a thing. But for those of us who have never, who were coming from the DVDs and who have watched this over the years on DVD, you will notice. You will notice the uptick in quality. So there's our 10 seasons, the fronts and the backs. Here's the 2 bonus discs, those DVDs from the complete series DVD set. There's what's included. I'm going to hold that up for you for just a second. You can freeze frame it. Retrospective look at the series with season featurettes, a decade of Comic-Con, the 2004 Paley Fest events. I love Paley Fest events, especially when we get to see, there was a Buffy Paley Fest event. That was fantastic. The 2006 pilot for Aquaman. Aquaman kind of spun out of Smallville as a character, and they were toying with the idea of doing a full series didn't get picked up, and that pilot became sort of, legendary. What was it? Here it is. We get to see it. The Adventures of Superboy, a 1961 pilot episode for a proposed series starring John Rockwell. The second bonus disc has the making of the 100th episode and the full documentary about DC Comics, 75 years of DC Comics. Of course, we're beyond that now. We're beyond 80 now. But at the time when this first came out on DVD, the feature-length DC Universe original documentary recounts 75 years of DC Comics. So what about the discs themselves? So about 5 episodes are on each Blu-ray, which is great. That's the modern standard for shows like Flash, for Arrow, things like that. Even, which we're still going to talk about, don't forget, even for Superman and Lois, 5 episodes per Blu-ray. That's really what you want for maximum. You don't want compression. You certainly don't want compression on your Blu-rays. So they've allowed this to breathe, which I'm tremendously excited about. 40 Blu-rays. That's great. I think, it could have gone another way. They could have tried to do like, oh, it's a whole season on 2 Blu-rays or something like that. But they didn't do that. Now, let's do some comparing of the special features, because I know a lot of you guys are going to want to know, well, like, is everything still on it? So here's the DVD versus the Blu-ray. They've even kept the color. All these seasons had a color theme. They've kept that. As far as I can tell, I have not loaded every single one of the 40 Blu-rays into my player to do that deep of research. But see, these had a lot of special features that weren't even necessarily disc-based. They had like DVD-ROM features, and I do not know if those are included here. But I can tell you that all of the... By the way, there's a digital code for the complete series. It's tucked inside of the season 1 package. So these discs are numbered, and like 1 through 4 for volume 1, and then you get to season 2 and they pick up with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're numbered 1 to 40. But what I wanted to tell you guys is that all the special features are listed here inside the art wrap, and they don't list everything, which I thought was very interesting. There were a few things I was looking for. I was like, well, that's not listed here. And then I put the disc in, and the special feature is there. So, like, there's like storyboard, like storyboard stuff, screenshot stuff, galleries, that sort of thing is not always listed inside of these flaps that I could see. But that content is there. The only thing that I cannot personally verify is if the DVD-ROM technology has carried over to the Blu-rays. If they've included those data files, it'd be like, behind the scenes stuff like that. So if something is not listed, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It might just be on the disc and was not on the package. So all the deleted scenes, every single one of these had extensive deleted scenes. They'd have like a little scissors by it. The commentaries, the first disc, you've got the you've got the pilot, and then you've got the extended pilot with an optional commentary by the creators of the show. And you've got deleted scenes, and you've got a commentary for Metamorphosis. It's all here. And, oh man, I was so excited about it. So, those of you wondering, this is the definitive. This is what we were hoping for. The only way that this could be any better is if they went back to the original elements and just redid it from scratch. And they're not going to. I say they're not. That's my opinion. I cannot imagine they would ever do that. The cost involved versus return, I would think, would be far too out of balance. But that's my opinion. If you're wanting to know if this is worth your $160 is the price as of, I pre-ordered it. If you're wanting to know if it's worth it, 10 seasons on Blu-ray, 2 bonus discs, 28 hours of special features. I think it absolutely is. Here's what's not included. I got to talk about this really quick. What's not there is these seasons were beautiful. They still are. They're very beautiful. Each one of these came with a booklet with the episode information. Look, it's like a yearbook, right? And it would have a note from who is this written by? Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, so the creators of the show. A note about that season or that That's not here. There's no booklet. There's no paper materials. You saw. There's nothing here that's not... there's nothing like this anywhere else in the set. It's not digitized or anything like that. So this is not there. And that's enough. I'm like, do I hold on to my DVDs? I mean, probably not. How much am I going to look at the booklets, right? But just for the sake of reporting, it's not there. But let's talk about, I do want to make sure we talk about Superman and Lois, because this show won me over so hard. So this is part of the Berlanti-verse, right? But it is so much the spiritual successor of Smallville. It spins out of the Berlanti crossovers, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where we got to see what would have happened. We got to see an alternate Superman who had married Lois, and they had twins. Or they had two. I think they just had one kid in that crossover episode, but for the full series, they've picked it up for a full series. And I'm not going to spoil the show. I'm just going to give you the premise of the show. Superman and Lois married together. It's an older Superman. I mean, it's weird because it's Tyler Hoechlin, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I knew him as the kid in Road to Perdition, the Tom Hanks movie. Like, I saw that movie, I was in my 20s when that movie came out, and he was like a little boy, and now he's a dad? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, that means that can't be, it was startling. But he's so good at it. So it really, and they end up back in Smallville. That's the other part of it, is they end up in Smallville. So they're raising their twins in Smallville, and it's all the stuff that I love about Superman, where Superman goes and he's constantly saving the world. There's a bridge falling in China, so he runs to China, and we get to see it. And then he comes back to Smallville, and he's dealing with everyday problems with his kids and with his wife, and all the stuff that we loved about Smallville. Smallville was frustrating. Smallville had the monster of the week, but you know what? I love it. I didn't know how much I missed it until I started watching this again, and I was like, oh man, I need that. I need that little dose of even if it's a villain of the week, I need it. All those things are brought forward with modern production value, with the budgets. I mean, just the fact that we get, there's only really been 2 Superman shows in modern times. Of course, we had the Adventures of Superman, right? The classic series from the 50s yes, we have that, but modern. With modern technology, we've only really had 2 Superman shows because it's hard to do Superman in a weekly show. We had Smallville, which the motto for Smallville was no flights, no tights, because of the budget, right? The minute he becomes Superman, the show's over. But now we have the best of both worlds because we have Superman in a weekly series where he is Superman. Everything we apply to Superman is fully there. The story, the origin story, the villains. I mean, this is Superman. But we also get to have that down-to-earth family values environment. The goal for this show, the producers were very clear about this. They wanted to take Superman and marry it with Friday Night Lights. So it's small-town football culture mixed with superheroes. And for me, it works so well. So it is joyful for me to be talking to you guys about Smallville on its 20th anniversary and how the tradition is not dead. 20 years later, it is still alive. It's still on television, and I can still get that fix every single week. So this is, I'm telling you guys, like I love Superman, and I'm so happy. You can tell, right? Like I'm just beaming. This means a lot to me. I look back on my life now, I'm like, this was like a decade of my life. That's a long time. I can look back and I can think about where I was, who I was with, what we were doing. Smallville has brought back so many memories. I did not realize how much I missed it until I started delving back into this. Found out about the announcement. And now holding it, I can tell you, it feels so good. Smallville is back where it belongs on my shelf. Popping those discs in and watching it. Rediscovering what I love about Superman and the DC mythology all these years later. Guys, all this is available right now, or October 19th is the official release date. I'm going to put links in the description of this So you can click straight through, and if you do support those links, you'll be also supporting Cereal at Midnight. I'm checking my note. I have notes here. In Superman Blue, coincidence? I don't think so. Oh, I needed to tell you guys, the Superman and Lois has 85 minutes of special features. It's got Superman Alien Spirit, Superman and Lois Legacy of Hope, Never Alone, Heroes and Allies, and the DC Fandom panel, Superman and Lois. The whole panel is here. I should also say Lois is played by Elizabeth Tulloch, who comes from Grimm. So if any Grimm fans out there, she's Lois, and she's great. The kids are good too. So 85 minutes of special features. Oh, here's another thing I didn't tell you guys. Every single episode, this is a 15 episode series, 15 episode season. Every single episode is an extended cut that was not seen on television. So they run longer. The pilot's like an hour and 3 minutes, and then every single episode after that is 45, 46 minutes. Couple of minutes longer than what was aired on television for the first time ever. It's debuting with extended cuts, and it's so good. Is there anything else I need to tell you guys? We covered Smallville. We got the no booklets in the set. We got that all the deleted scenes and the video featurettes are accounted for, that they're standard definition upscales for the first 5 seasons, but that they look better than the DVDs. 2 discs of previous release material. It's the 20th anniversary. We did it, guys. Smallville on shelves. Is it going to be on your shelf? That's what I want to know. Who else out there is going to be picking up Smallville? I mean, you're looking for a Christmas present for the person in your life that you love very much. I think they need Smallville. Somebody save me. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. I appreciate you more than you can possibly know. Until next time, here's where to go and what to do.